Let's see, we on? Are we on? Yay, there we go. Okay, we are on and popping. Let me just double check this real quick. Okay. Let me just hit. Okay, cool. There we go. Pause that. Let me just do that. Okay. This is the first time, guys, so bear with me. Let me go and set my timer right quick. Set my little YouTube timer. But here we go. Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome to the 37th edition of Trippin with Theobold. I know some of you guys are new listeners, and it's my first time going live, doing the live stream on Twitch and on YouTube. But I've done 36 of these, and right now I'm on episode 37. So welcome. So the show is called Trippin with Theobold because I be literally tripping in speech and I figuratively trip in thought. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with a speech impediment. It's not all the way gone yet. So whenever I have a hiccup, I just address it. I say, man, come on, Dre. And I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of crazy ideas. I think about a lot of, I'm known as being a weirdo sometimes. Like I think about a lot of crazy stuff. So, hence the name Trippin with Theobold. Man, so this is my first time going live. I don't know what I'm doing, so all my new listeners, if y'all listening, just please bear with me, because I will get my stuff together. But right now, I got the YouTube timer on. I got the 2-minute YouTube timer on because I know that in YouTube, if you use certain language within 2 minutes, they may push your video to the bottom. And right now, I have 0 subs, and I got like 50 something subs, but not a lot of views, so I got to get every view I can get. So that's why, I'm going to watch my language for another 48 seconds or so. And then I'm going to talk a little freer, because nobody's really free if you think about it, But what else, man? Before I go any further, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. AT is where it's at on all forms of social media, as y'all can see at the bottom down there. I think y'all can see that. Hopefully y'all can see that. If not, I have more work to do. But now, man, we have a great show lined up for y'all today. We're going to talk some stuff. Notice I didn't say the other S word because I'm not trying to get YouTube to knock my video to the bottom of the pile. So I got about 8 more seconds, 7 more seconds. And let me go ahead and stop this timer so this little corny song doesn't come on. Okay, now I can kind of talk free. Now I can talk a little freer. Now I can talk this shit like I want to talk, YouTube. I don't know the rules of Twitch, so I'm going to find out. Hopefully, it's kind of weird with these different platforms, how all these platforms have different, rules and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, bear with me. We gonna figure it out. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes and stuff so I can not go all the way off the cuff, But yeah, so so today's episode is episode 37. This is the Nate Odom's edition. This is the Nate Odom's episode of Trippin with Theobold. So why do I say Nate Odom? So let me go ahead and pull this up right quick. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I mean, what I'm talking about. Okay, where am I at? Okay, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Hold tight. We gonna get it together. 1 second. I'm already messing up. As they say, if you build it, they will come, right? So I'm building it. Y'all may or may not be coming. Pause. Hold on a second. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. This is the Nate Odom's episode of Trippin with Theobold. So Nate Odom's. So if you guys don't know, I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. Grew up in the 90s. Cried through all my Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? I cried through all my Super Bowl losses, man. And Nate Odom's was the cornerback for the Bills during most of the Super Bowl runs, and Nate Odom's wore the number 37, and we're at episode number 37. So hence this is the reason for it being called the Nate Odom's edition of Trippin with Theobold. So Nate Odom's, aka Touch Your Toes. Pause again. But if you see, that's how. So he played cornerback, right? So he would line up against the receiver in the photo that you're looking at right now. That's how he's the only cornerback in the history of the NFL that I've seen line up like that against the defensive backs. And I don't know how he didn't get his ass cooked every time, man. Because if you get down like that and try to play cornerback and you don't jam someone off the line, you already know, man, it's going to the house. You know what I mean? But shout out to Nate Odoms, man. Little quick history fact. So when I was young, my mom is from Buffalo. My mom and pop are both from Buffalo, you know, I remember they came back one night, and my mom gave me this plastic bag with these football gloves in them, you know, and she said one glove came from Nate Odoms and one glove came from Leon Seals, you know, so I gotta find those gloves or somewhere, but I was like, oh wow, man, this is Nate Odoms, man. Nate Odoms wore this glove, you know. So I gotta find that. I should have had the glove ready for the episode, but I haven't seen that glove in about 10 years, man. So anywho, enough bantering. You know, this is a Nate Odoms edition of the show. I said that like 40 times already. So what else we got going on, man? Yeah, so if you guys couldn't tell, my voice is a little croggy, a little weak. Last week I had I was pretty much under the weather, man. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a sore throat. I couldn't talk. Like I pretty much had laryngitis for like 2 days. Couldn't make any sounds, you know. Then it kind of transformed into like a nasal thing, and it got in my sinuses, and then got in my throat, and then I took some Mucinex, and I was coughing up Mucinex men like for a couple days, and now I'm at the very tail end of it. I still have a slight cough, but I'm feeling good right now. You know, I'm back, baby. I'm back. You know, so yeah, so I mean, that's why there was no show last week. So for my new listeners that's catching on to my live stream, you know, on YouTube, I would do a weekly show, you know, Trippin with Theobold, and I missed out last week because my voice wasn't what it should have been, you know. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take some time off and take some of this NyQuil, DayQuil, Mucinex, ginger ale, you know what I'm saying, and just get myself better so I can come back and do this show the way I want to do this show. So thank y'all for y'all continued patience. What else we got going on, man? Let's get to the promotional part of the show. I like to promote businesses and things I like to, like, you know, wear and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and move Nate Odoms off the screen right quick. So first I want to say shout out to Mark Lotus, aka Evolution Lotus of Chrome City Records, man. He's really, man, he's hooking me up right now, man. So right now he's working on a jingle or a little intro song for this show, you know, and I heard a couple cuts of it, man, and I'm impressed. You know, I'm impressed, man. Like, you know, one of my goals for the end of the year was to like have a song or to have an intro song for, you know, this Trippin with Theobold pod, you know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, it's not even halfway through the year right now, and he hit me up on Facebook and was like, hey, I have some ideas for you. I want to run by you. And he had me do some he had me do some like vocal recordings. I did some of the vocal recordings, and man, it's gonna be dope, man. So I can't wait to get some of the final cuts of my little jingle, cause it's gonna be nice, man. So I can't wait for that. So man, yeah. So go to Chrome City Records, check out his work. Go to YouTube, put in Evolution Lotus, aka Mark Lotus, and check out some of his work, man. Dope work, you know. What else, man? See how I'm sounding like nasal. I'm getting that nasal congestion still, man. Like it's every time I start recording, it's like everything kind of starts to want to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta just bear with me, okay? Like I said, I'm getting used to all this, and soon it's gonna be like riding a bicycle. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm excited because next week, or sometime maybe tomorrow, I'm gonna be getting a racing chair. You know, so all my little gamers out there on Twitch, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all got your little gamer stuff. I'm out the gaming world. I haven't been in the gaming world since the days of PS3/Super Nintendo. Y'all are light years ahead of me. But I saw this gaming chair I had to get. It has a nice lower lumbar support, you know what I'm saying? And right now I have a regular like conference room chair, and and my back, I'm getting old, you know what I'm saying? So my back and my neck can't really take this chair like that. So I'm gonna have my racing chair hopefully set up by Friday or Saturday. So yeah, so when I have it, trust me, y'all see it, 'cause it's gonna be coming up to here, you know. I'm gonna have one of them little racing joints. Also, real quick, man, shout out to BeCreateful.com. You know, they got these little bedazzled hoodie strings. I'm not sure if you guys can see the bedazzlement. You know, maybe you can see this one better. This is the bedazzlement right here, right? These are the looks like I'm holding up magic right now. But nah, these hoodie strings are dope, man. I think I spent like $9 a piece. You know what I'm saying? And I got a couple of them. And for those of y'all that don't know me, I'm a hoodie person. You know what I'm saying? So I like to mix and match my hoodie strings. You know what I'm saying? To go with some dope kicks. You know what I mean? So yeah. So shout out to BeCreateful.com. A lot of people ask me, yo, Dre, man, where you get your hoodie string from? Hey, BeCreateful.com, or just go to Etsy and put in bedazzled hoodie string, and you should find it there. You know, but don't everyone copy me off me at the same time. Like, you know, use your own, you know, use your own creativity to use it your own way. You know, but you know, well, I didn't show y'all my hoodie, so you don't know what I have. You know what I'm saying? So just be creative and use your imagination and use it for whatever you want to use it for. Okay, cool. We done with that. So this isn't really a shout out. This is a cry for help. And I'm about to, yeah, let me go pull these motherfuckers up right quick, man. TikTok, man. What's up, man? TikTok, man. I need y'all to holler at me, man. Yo, TikTok tech support ain't shit. Yo, TikTok's tech support is horrible, man. Oh my God. Like, here's my situation, right? Maybe you video gamers, you millennials can help me like navigate through this, man. But I done did everything I could. I done been patient. I done been persistent. I done wrote emails. I done wrote in the help section of TikTok. I did everything on YouTube, man. And here's my situation, right? So as y'all can see at the bottom, right, of all my handles, my handle for TikTok is AT is where it's at _, right? Don't have a lot of videos. I know, because I'm trying to work out my situation. But there's another, I evidently created another TikTok account with AT is where it's at with no underscore some time ago. Don't know when, but I did it via Instagram. So I changed my Instagram handle. I changed my password a few times. And if you look up AT is where it's at on TikTok, you'll see my old Instagram profile there. So I don't have a email or a phone number associated with that account. So I actually broke through to this dude named Zachary. Zachary hit me back. Hey, Zachary, man, from TikTok. If you're listening, holla at your boy, man. So he sent me, I sent a message to TikTok. Zachary got back to me and said, hey, give me this information so I can verify your account. Gave him all the information, and then my TikTok message thread just disappeared. Didn't hear anything back from Zachary, no nothing. I checked all my emails. I checked all my spam and all my emails. Haven't heard anything back. So every day I be hitting TikTok up, man, like, yo, I'm trying to get AT is where it's at back on track. I'm trying to get AT is where it's at back on track to where it's at. You know what I mean? So hey, shout out T. I see you. Thanks for listening. Let me go ahead and hit in the chat. Hey, here we go. There we go. So I'm new to this stuff, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe one day I'll have 1 million subs on this joint, you know, and I can just do the shout out and y'all won't know that I'm talking to y'all. But, you know, shout out, hey, man. So, yeah, shout out to TT or TT. Here we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But TikTok, man, holla at me, man. I'm trying to get AT is where it's at without the underscore. I'm trying to get access to that account. So if you can holla at me and tell me what I got to do to revive my account or to prove I am who I say I am, let me know. But right now, man, it's like I'm talking to a brick wall. I done sent out at least 10 messages, 10 to 15 messages in the past month, and it's just real confusing, So, all of my little young TikTokers out there, my little young millennials, if you guys have any suggestions or things that I didn't try yet, let me know. Like, put it in the comment section or whatever. Just let me know. I'm humbly asking for help, because I'm stuck. And that's what we do when we're stuck. We ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Like, a lot of times in society, people will make you feel dumb for asking for help. But a lot of times you just need help. You know what I mean? So, okay, whatever, cool. So we done with that. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and get this off of here. So for those of y'all that don't know, I work in corporate America, and don't really care for it. I mean, I do what I do. I do my job. I don't complain. Well, I complain on here, but I don't complain at work. But I started a little thread or a little subchapter in Trippin with Theobold called Tales from S1, right? And S1 is a person who I may or may not have worked with. Wink, wink. I started this little subchapter to vent about a person from a previous company that I may or may not have worked at who caused me a great deal of chaos, So I'm not gonna, here's the thing, right? So I don't want to rehash all the old videos I've done. So if you go back and start around episode 34, 35, you'll see where I start talking about my tales from S1. But long story short, S1 was a person who was older than me, had more experience working than me, but not more experience in my field. And when S1 started working with me, it was like he felt that basically we clashed, and our manager gave us conflicting information, so we always butt heads. And then she always sided with him, and at the end of the day, he became my customer instead of the customer being my customer, right? It was just a matter of, hey, I got to please this dude when I come to work so I can get my paycheck, and had a lot of crazy stories. So the story I left off with last week, on last episode 36, was basically, to kind of sum it all up, to make it kind of quick, is he basically harassed me about my personal life, He got wind that I was taking a particular class outside of work. It was an acting class, I worked it out with my manager that if I came into work at 6 a.m., I could leave at 2 so I could make my class at 5:30 p.m. He kind of got wind of it, and then he wanted to find out what I was doing. Told him it was none of his business. He basically spread my business throughout meetings like it was his own. Then when we went on a business trip, we had a car ride to get to our hotel, and he was like, just, hey man, I'm going to find out what it is you do, whether you like it or not, And I'm like, dude, bruh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, I went ahead and I reminded him of his training. I said, hey, look, did you do training XYZ? Oh yeah, I did that months ago. I said, okay, well, cool. Well, you might want to go back and revisit that training because right now you could be in violation of that training. And that's code for, hey, if you don't leave me the fuck alone, I'm going to HR. You know what I'm saying? So he left me alone, and that was one little lesson that we got from it. The lesson. See, I tell negative stories, but it's all about deducing a positive outcome from the story. So the positive outcome or the positive result from that story is use your training as your shield in corporate America to protect yourself from bully coworkers. You know what I mean? So anyways, so today's story, I'm debating on what story I want to tell today because today's title is Breaking Points, and I'm going to go ahead and go with this other story. Okay. So we had a situation where see what happened. Where should I start the story off at? So there was a coworker I knew, real nice lady I worked with, real professional, and she basically was like towards the second half of her career where she wanted to, she basically was trying to just come in and do her job. She wanted something stable. She came in, she did her job, did what was asked of her. And S1 was our lead at the time, So S1 gave her a task, and the line of work we do is in requirements, right? So like I said before in my other videos, if you write requirements, you probably have a shitty product, right? So I don't write requirements, I derive requirements. I play around with models, I play around with use cases and corner conditions, and I make sure that we understand as much as we can about whatever it is we're about to design, and then I derive the requirements from that model to make sure that the system's going to work the way it's supposed to work, right? So she got a task to work on something where she was supposed to go derive these requirements, and she took her first cut at it, gave it to S1. Sorry, my nose is still kind of congested. Right, she gave it to S1, and S1 gave it back to her with 90 findings. So typically in my world where I came from before that, if you find more than 10 issues in a peer review, you just say start over again, right? But whatever, he found 90 issues, and she went back and worked out all 90 issues. And then we all know it takes time to work through issues, especially 90 of them, right? 90 issues is a lot of issues. So she's working through the issues, you know what I'm saying? And then he's basically on her, like, when is it going to get done? When are you going to be done? When are you going to be done? So she finally gets done, submits it again for work. Then this motherfucker finds 50 issues. So if you're a lead, and if you find 90 issues with something, then if that person resolves all 90 issues, you shouldn't come back with 50 more new issues, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, that's what happened. So it kept going back and forth. So finally, he was trying to get her to like make a schedule or to make an appointment or whatever. And then he kind of like bull rushed her and was like, I'm going to meet you at your cube, right? So we're all out in the open. We're all in our cubes or whatever. And he goes over to her cube, and this motherfucker basically plays Muppet Babies with this chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gets a laptop that's not even plugged in. He gets a cord and some tape. And he's basically like, okay, so what's going to happen when a person plugs this in to go do maintenance? What's the first thing they have to do, So he's playing this game of her having to like play with things or like play with objects, which to me was kind of an insult, but whatever. That's how he wants to go about it. Cool, we can go about it that way. So she's up there like playing along, and she's like, I don't understand why you want me to do this way. I'm just trying to help solve the problem, So finally she subconsciously buys into whatever he is trying to explain, and she starts doing it. And then instead of it being about getting the solution and moving on, he stops her. He's like, see, you're doing it. That's why I want you to do what I want you to do. Right? And then this chick breaks down and starts crying, man. I'm like, yo, man, like I felt bad, man, because it was like, it didn't need to go to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was another way he could have communicated that to her, and she had a breakdown. I had to go outside, calm her down or whatever. And then when we're outside walking around, S1 and my boss are out walking. It's like, soon as she ran out, he went to go run to my boss. So then we both go on this walk, and both of us kind of cross paths or whatever. And we're just like, yeah, y'all full of shit, whatever, and that was just very, very childish, man, So that's what today's episode is about. It's about breaking points, right? A lot of people don't know where a lot of people don't know how close people are to the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might do one little thing that in your mind is nothing, but to that other person, that's like the last straw. Like that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. You know what I mean? So, um, so from that situation, like what I learned is the positive from that the positive I got from that is no matter who you're dealing with, you gotta like realize that that person, you don't know where that person is, like, or you don't know how far that person has been pushed, right? Like you don't know how close to the edge that person is, So you trying to make a point or you trying to make somebody feel bad about something, um, could be disastrous. You know what I'm saying? So that's the tale. That's the S1 tale for the day. Like I said, he wasn't really he wasn't a cool person in my book, man. Just the way he moved, the way he operated, it was very Boy Scoutish. It was like, hey, look at me, look at my star. I'm in charge. I'm the guy. I'm the one. It's like, okay, motherfucker, cool. You the one. Okay, cool. Motherfucker, you want a popsicle, motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and just a lot of people just want to come to work, do an honest day's work, get they paid, and they just want to go home. You know what I mean? Um, that's the. So I wasn't gonna do that story, but because of what I'm talking about today, it kind of ties in with that. So I felt like I had to talk about that. So, that's the tale from S1 today. So before we go into the meat of today's discussion, we are going to talk about some sports, man. So, do. Okay, you guys remember that song? It's almost time. It's almost time, man. It's almost time for these playoffs, man. Playoffs? Playoffs? Yeah, it's almost time for these playoffs. So, let me move this down a little bit. So, I was talking to my mom earlier. I didn't want to do that. Come on, Dre. There we go. Yeah, so I was talking to my mom earlier today, man, and she is convinced that these Nets are not going to the finals. She's picking the Sixers over the Nets. Like, for real? As Magic Johnson said that. Nope. Whatever, man. Nah, here's the thing, man. My prediction for the Eastern Conference Finals is Bucks and Nets, man. That's all I see. Sixers have no answer for the Nets right now. Like, the Nets have them mentally. And I'm even gonna go a step further and say, if the Nets meet up with the Sixers, come on, Dre. I'm not stuttering there. My throat just got dry and shit, because I'm congested. So, but it looked like it, so I might as well go ahead and call it out, right? Excuse me. Nah, but if the Nets meet up with the Sixers in the playoffs, the Sixers gonna get swept. That's all I'm gonna say. They're gonna get swept. It's not gonna be pretty, But I think the Bucks are going back to the finals. I just don't see anyone that can stop Giannis when Giannis doesn't want to be stopped. Like, Giannis is the only one that can stop Giannis. So right now, like I said, on the Nets, you got KD with that elbow shot. No one's gonna stop that elbow jumper. And then Kyrie can do whatever he wants to do with the basketball. Defense is kind of shitty. But offense, like, if they're just having if both of them are having an off day, then they're gonna lose. But if one of them have an on day, they're gonna win. But if they're playing the Bucks have like three cornerstone pieces, right? Well, they have a big piece. They got Giannis, and then you have Middleton, and then you got what's his face? Holiday. You know what I'm saying? So if Holiday has a good game, then they're gonna win. If Middleton has a good game, they're gonna win. But Giannis is gonna come out at least like five games solid. You're gonna get 5 games out of Giannis per series. So I just don't see anybody really stopping Giannis in the East. In the West, it's looking like Grizzlies. Look, I'm going on a limb. It's gonna be Grizzlies and the Mavericks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think. I'm not sure if the seeding is done yet, but I can see the Mavericks and the Grizzlies in the Western Conference Finals. Phoenix had they run last year, and typically teams that make it to the Western Conference Finals or that make it to the finals and lose, they typically don't come back like that strong, or they don't come back and do what they did the previous year, And who else we got? Then the Warriors. I mean, if Steph Curry come back, which I think he might come back, if he comes back, man, I mean, you gotta put the Dubs in the mix. You know what I mean? So those are my playoff predictions. If you guys didn't know, I'm a Wizards fan. Yeah, man, it's not looking good for me and my Wizards, man. Like, Kristaps is putting up numbers, man, but that's not going to be enough, Like, we got to go ahead and reboot the whole franchise, man. Because right now, we looking like the USA Arena Washington Bullets. Like, I remember them days, man. The days of Tom Gugliotta and Rex Chapman and Calbert Chaney and Kenny Skywalker, George Mirasan. Like, I remember them days like it was yesterday, man. So them days is coming back. So we got to go ahead and just reboot the franchise, man. We got to change the name again, get rid of Wizards. Let's go ahead and go with Armada or whatever the Washington football team didn't use for their name. We got to go ahead and use that as our name. But Wizards got to go, man, because this shit ain't working. Ted Leonsis, if you hear this, man, hey, man, talk to me. Let's go ahead and get a name change for these Wizards, man. This shit ain't working. All right? Like, let's look into if we can't look into a crystal ball to know what we going to be called, let's go ahead and just get rid of the Wizards, man. This shit ain't working. But what else, man? Then what else we got going on, man? Baseball just started back up. Whoop-de-doo. As you guys know, I be penny pinching in DraftKings. I like to try to rub two nickels together to come up with $100. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. And today's not looking so good. This is the first day of, the first full scheduled day of baseball, and I'm in this 25. Let me see where I'm at right now. I'm in this 25. So where am I at right now? I'm in this little 25-cent pool, and I'm damn. I got 21 points, and I'm in 2,521st place out of 3,500 people, but I still have 27 more innings left, so I might be able to come up and snatch up $20 from somebody. You know what I mean? So that's what we do. We're trying to just break free. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out this 9-to-5 shit by being able to pick good lineups. It's possible. It's doable. It's not probable, but it's doable. Anywho, what's got going on, man? Let's go and talk some DFS, man. Some real DFS talk. Where am I at? Here we go. Didn't mean to do that. My bad, y'all. Here we go. Let's go and talk some DFS talk, man. DraftKings. So last week I was killing it last week, man. I was figuring something out, man. So I use this app called LineStar to look at in-depth data or in-depth fantasy points for DraftKings basketball. And all I just play the tiers, right? Because I feel like if you can't pick the people in the tiers right, then how you gonna pick everybody else right in all the other positions based on dollar amount and value amount, So to me, I don't like to waste my time. I think tiers gets me into the action a whole lot quicker, which is why I play tiers. But last week, man, I figured something out, man. Every day I was winning $8, So I think I racked up $50-something last week off of tiers, And then I tried using my same technique that I used the previous week, and that shit ain't working. And I think it's not working this week because a lot of players are resting. So it's kind of throwing everything off, right? Because people are getting ready for the playoffs. So when people get ready for the playoffs, right, it's kind of hard to predict who's going to sit, who's going to have more time, or who's going to get more time to play. It's hard to, do all that. You know what I mean? So that's why I think I'm struggling this week. But once playoffs start, time to Birdman hands, baby. It's time to get this bread. But last week, who messed me up this past week, man? Let me look at my last lineups right quick. But this past week, who messed me up? Let's see, recent. Who do I have? Yeah, wow. Yeah, last week. Yeah, I was on a roll last week, man. But this week, I ain't hitting on shit. Who do I have? Who messed me up? Yeah, so last night, Zach LaVine messed me up, and Isaiah Quickly messed me up. If I would have got them two right, I would have probably been at a couple racks. And then this one was a murderous night, man. This was a terrible night. A few nights ago, James Harden, man. James Harden is not the same James Harden that we know, you know? Like, I actually took a leap of faith on James Harden and didn't play the flip-flop with Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie dropped 63 fantasy points and Harden dropped 39 fantasy points. But Harden's not the same, man. Like, Harden isn't the same. Like, I'm not sure how long it's going to take them to gel, but right now it's not looking too good. And then Van Vliet, man. Fred Van Vliet, if you listening, man, bruh. Better yet, Fred Van Vliet and Jimmy Butler. Those two are the jokers of DraftKings, man. Like, every time you don't pick them, they go off. But when you pick them, man, they take a fucking nap. They be chilling. This dude, Van Vliet, man. Look, yesterday, this dude had... I projected him to have 50 fantasy points at least, right? Per the data, you know? But, man, at halftime, this dude had 5.25 fantasy points, man. I threw my phone down. I'm like, man, I'm not watching the rest of this shit. I already know. He put up like 30. What did he put up? He put up 31 fantasy points. But I'm like, bruh, if you can put up 31 and a half, man, you could have put up 31 in the first half. I should have been at 60. Come on, champ. So Van Vliet and Jimmy Butler, man, them two be... Those two are the jokers, man. It's like, I feel like every time I pick them, they know my account, and I feel like they have a secret, like, connection or whatever, and they're like, yo, that nigga Dre pick you? I'm like, yo, did Dre pick you? Oh, Dre picked you? Cool, don't play. Yeah, I go and chill for the night. I'm trying to get these racks, man. I'm trying to get a couple racks so I can get up in some more crypto, and then flip that crypto, and then stack. And then this 9 to 5 shit is a hobby, you know? I want my 9 to 5 to become a hobby. Like, I want to go to work because I want to go to work, not because I have to go to work. You know what I mean? But right now I'm not there yet, but you know, I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, so that's it for my DraftKings woes. And right now, it's not looking so hot for me right now. Who do I pick right now? That's giving me stomach pain. Oh wow! Right now I got 40.75 points, and I'm in 5,000th plus place. Wow, it's not looking good at all, man. Who do I have in my lineup right now? It's not looking too bad. Okay, I got Melo Ball, and I got Miles Bridges. So tier 3, I got Melo Ball. Tier 5, I got Bridges right now, and Bridges is about 3/4 of a point behind Middleton. And you know what? I'll take that because Middleton right now. No, I won't because Middleton is shit. He's just starting the second quarter at 16.25, and Bridges is at 15.75 at halftime. But Bridges, like you know, if you look at the trend, the data trend, Miles Bridges always comes through in the end. Like the third and fourth quarter, he be just racking up points. So I'll take 15.75 right now with Miles Bridges right now at halftime. Come on, Dre. So right now the dude in first place has Ball and Middleton, and he has Rozier. I don't know why he did that. Well, no, okay, he went Ball and Rozier. Okay, whatever. That's actually pretty smart because they both had 25 points down the middle. But I have Jokic, I got Towns, I got Poole, and I got Eubanks. So hopefully these dudes come through for a player so I can get in on some of these racks, man. Because like I said, I'm trying to kiss this 9 to 5 goodbye. But hopefully my coworkers or my boss ain't watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because just joking and shit. You hear this, but anywho, okay, whatever. We're done with that. So now let's get into the crux of what we gonna talk about. Okay, let's get into the crux of what we are going to talk about. This is interesting. Okay, I thought I had like a time limit or a time that was running. Let me see something real quick. Let me see what's going on. Okay, nobody's watching me right now. It says I'm still live. Okay, cool, on Twitch. So I gotta watch my language on Twitch, I think. I don't know. I heard something about something. But when I get to it, I'll make sure I preface it and I'll make sure I say that this is for learning purposes only. This is for our learning, you know. Let's see where I'm at right now. Let me go ahead and get. No, I don't want that. Come on, Dre. Don't want that. Get this out of here. Don't want that. Here we go. Get this out. Now we're here to talk about what we are here to talk about. The crux of the show. Breaking points. So if you see behind me, you see where I'm at. I'm at the Oscars. You know what I'm saying? They left the room decorated for me. Like no one's here right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm by myself. You know, they said, hey, Dre. I went up to him. I said, hey, Oscars. I went up. I was like, yo, Oscar. I was like, hey, man, can y'all leave the decoration up? I want to do a little podcast right quick. Let me go ahead and go set up shop so I can do my pod right quick. And they were like, okay, cool. Just keep it short. I said, okay, cool. So here we are, man. I know I'm late, but like I said, I was sick. But I'm glad I was sick because I was able to get answers to more of my questions that I had during the week. So as we all know, 2 weeks ago, was it about 2 weeks ago? We all witnessed the slap heard around the world, you know. I was at the Laugh Factory here in Hollywood hanging out, and we were in the back in the green room, chit-chatting or whatever, and someone was like, yo, man. Someone said, yo, man, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock. And I was like, man, that's probably a joke. And when I saw it, I was like, man, that's a joke. But then when you saw the reaction in the crowd from Will, it was like, yeah, nah, this is real, you know? So, some questions I had before this week were, you know, was Chris Rock reading off a teleprompter? You know, where's the other camera footage, or where are the other camera angles at? Because I want to see what Jada's side had to show. So I had all these questions, you know what I'm saying? And I watched various interviews. I saw the interview with Will Packard. Will Packard kind of explained what happened from his point of view, you know. So I'm still gathering information. Like I said, I don't know everything. I'm not reporting on this. I'm doing a lesson from this, right? Because there's a lot we can learn from this situation. But for those of y'all that don't know what happened, I mean, it's kind of, if you don't know what happened, I mean, I'm gonna need you to get up from under that rock you're underneath or get your head out that sand, you know. But basically, Chris Rock was kind of doing a joke. He basically went and did an ad-lib bit, and referred to, he basically made a joke about Jada's hair being short indirectly by referencing her getting an award or getting a role in G.I. Jane 2. Will laughed at it, or he apparently laughed at that part of the joke. Then he looked over at Jada. Jada rolled her eyes. He caught that. Will was like, I gotta do something. He got up out of his seat, walked up, smacked Chris Rock, turned his back, went and sat back down in his seat, and then said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Not quite like that, but you guys get the point, right? So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit. Let's go ahead and break things down, you know? So, breaking points, right? It is my conjecture, or it's my theory, that I'm gonna go on a limb and say this, right? I'm gonna say this, right? If Will has had a pretty crazy year in the. I'm not making excuses, by the way, but he's had a crazy year in social media, right? Like, or just in the eye of the public, like you had the Willow's letter to Tupac, or then you had Jada with the entanglement thing, and then Jada saying that how much she loved Tupac, and then you had all these different things, man. And to me, it's like this, right? If one of those things didn't happen and Chris Rock made that joke, I don't think Will Smith gets up and goes and smacks him, right? Because that slap wasn't for Chris Rock. It was more of just a frustration. It was a frustration buildup, right? It was a symbolic slap. Like, he had enough of people making fun of him and his situation with his wife, or anything about his wife. It was a real sensitive topic, Me personally, I don't think the joke was that funny, but also I don't think it was that offensive. That's just me, But it's like weird. It's like if you watch the Red Table Talks and you see how sensitive she is about her hair or whatever, then maybe you don't watch that. You don't say that joke, but no one watches everything that everyone puts out, right? So, with that being said, let me start with Will, then I'll move on to Chris. Excuse me. Let me start with Will, then I'll go on to Chris. Losing my voice. Give me a second. So, Will was wrong. Like, you don't get up and smack no one over that, But there are two things that I want to address. In Twitch, before I use this word, just know that I'm using this word for teaching purposes, okay? I'm not using this to bully anybody. This is purely for educational purposes, okay? So, for those of y'all that listen to me know that, I'm a recovering simp. There, I said it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a recovering simp, man. Like, society has hidden codes where if you blindly go into situations and let people teach you certain things, you will think that the world works a certain way when really it doesn't, For example, let's start with Valentine's Day, right? So when I was young, and I said this before in my older videos, but when I was younger, when I was in middle school and or whatever, we had Valentine's Day, and the teachers always basically made the guys make little cards and cut up shit and package up candy or whatever. And that was the day we could go and give it to the chick that we like, and maybe if I give this to this chick, maybe she'll like me. And that's a horrible lesson to teach young men. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because look, you can't make no chick like you. Like, you can't make no chick like you. You know what I'm saying? You can't make nobody like you. All right? People either like you or they don't. And like a lot of times people don't know why they like who they like. They just like whoever, A lot of times it isn't even a conscious decision. It's just what they feel. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we get into being chosen, right? So in my humble opinion, based upon everything that we've seen with Will and Jada, it's my humble opinion that Jada never chose Will. You know what I mean? Excuse me. She never chose Will. Like, yeah, she chose to get married to him, but just because you marry somebody, that doesn't mean that you chose them. Like, your actions and how you act and respond to a certain person dictates whether you have chosen them or not. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, it's our job to know whether we've been chosen. And I've seen so many dudes in life think that they got game. I've seen so many dudes that just think that they get chicks because they got game, and it's like, nah, man, the motherfucker, look, the chick chose you. That's why look, she chose you before you even recognized that you even liked her. You know what I mean? So, where am I going with this? Right. Being chosen, right? So, based upon all the stuff that Jada was saying, Jada chose Tupac, right? And Will right now is in a situation where I really want this dude to be at peace with himself. Because right now, he's not at peace. That's one thing I think we can all agree on is that he's not at peace with himself, man. You know? To me, it's a tragedy to, or it's heartbreaking to see someone who is so positive, so hardworking, so talented, who's accomplished so much in life and is in his 50s and not be at peace. It's like, what the fuck is the point? Like, if you do all this and you can't be at peace, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So, if I were to give Will some advice, I would be like, look, man, you need to just kind of go off on an island, disappear somewhere, and just kind of gather your head and just kind of, I think once he separates from what's going on and he can kind of see what's going on from a third party perspective, I think he'll be able to make the right decision to get himself back on track to being at peace with himself, man. You know what I'm saying? But something else I want to talk about too, right? It's has to do with being chosen, right? So I was in a situation where I was dating this chick a while ago, man. This one chick I was dating, and this is why I'm talking about this, so we can learn from it, right? Because this is for our learning, So, and this is where, like, I was a simp in this situation because I didn't know how to handle this because I didn't expect things like this. But by me sharing this experience, other people out there can avoid making the same mistake. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, what happened was I was dating this chick a while back, and she was divorced or previously married, and she had kids, and I was at her house one time and we were eating dinner. I got off of a hard day of work or a long day at work. I had a long day. It was a Friday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? I brought some food over. She made some things. We had some wine or whatever and stuff. Her kids were playing, and I think one of her kids was like skating or whatever, and he had trouble getting on a skate or whatever. So I helped him put on a skate or whatever. Then he got back on and went skating or whatever and stuff. And then she looked at him, and then out loud, this chick said, I am so grateful to have been with a beautiful man to have made beautiful babies with, right in front of my face. And I felt awkward. I'm like, yo, why is she saying this in front of me, right? And at the end of the day, she was saying that, or when she said that, she either didn't realize or I don't know what she was thinking, but that's disrespectful to a man, yo. Like, you don't talk about no other dude that you favor or that you have certain feelings for in front of the dude that you dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what that does is that diminishes the other dude into one of your girlfriends. You know what I mean? So I heard that like 2 or 3 times, and then I was polite about it. I said, hey, like, I don't like when you do that. That's not right. Can you not do that? Yada yada. I was trying to be polite. You know what I'm saying? But what I should have done is fellas, here's the takeaway, right? When a chick that you date never tells you that, right? If she ever talks about another dude favorably that she wants to be with, or that she was intimate with, or that she just desires to be with, you ask her straight up, just point blank, hey, it sounds like you got some unfinished business that you got to go handle. Do you need me to step aside? Right? And then once you ask that, and she kind of like, she's probably gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I don't know why you're asking me that, or why are you asking? Okay, cool. If that's not the case, I'm gonna need you to never do that again. Okay, that's disrespectful. I'm not one of your girlfriends. Don't do that shit again. Just straight up. Right? And it's not about some male chauvinistic shit. It's not about some Fred Flintstone caveman shit. It's just about respect, man. You know what I'm saying? And if a chick is doing that, she's showing you that she's not choosing you. You know what I mean? So, now, once you say that, and once you put your foot down and you say that, now you have to kind of see where things go from there, right? Because if she keeps doing it, that means that she hasn't chose you. You know what I'm saying? So you do either one or two things. Either one, you ghost the chick and move on, or two, she goes in the rotation pile, right? She's a like she if she look building a foundation with a chick that doesn't value you as the man who you are is like building a castle on quicksand. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to sink. It will go nowhere. All right? So, in my humble opinion, that's the situation that Will is in right now. Jada does not respect Will as her man. Right? I even believe that she said that Tupac was like a once in a lifetime like love or something like that. If she feels that way, cool. Like, as a man, you have to learn, look, when you haven't been chosen, you just step aside. You cannot make no chick like you. That's why I'm against like movies like Beauty and the Beast, right? Stupid fucking movie, man. Here it is. It's teaching dudes that, oh, if I do something, if I let someone go, and if I don't press them, then maybe they'll come back. It's like, nah. It's like, if she want to choose Gaston, let that bitch choose Gaston. I'm in this castle, man. I'm living in this castle. This is my shit. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. That Beauty and the Beast shit, man, it's a bad lesson to teach young boys, man, because they're going to grow up thinking that they can do something to make a chick like them, man. And all you got to do is look at the signs, man. If you look at the signs and study the signs that a chick isn't choosing you, it's very easy to just cut bait and move on. You know what I mean? So, that to me is what I think Will's situation is with Jada. But like I said, we don't know all the facts, so I could be wrong, you know? But based upon what I've seen, this is what I have deduced. All right? So, what else? Now let's talk about Chris, right? Man, shout out to Chris Rock, man. That dude. Like, at first it was weird, man, because here's why I'm impressed with Chris Rock, man. I'm impressed with Chris Rock because he made us all believe that it was part of the show while it was going on. And that is hard to do, man, to maintain your composure like that and to play it off like, oh, this is like, he might not have tried to, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if he did that on purpose or not, but it took me a couple days to realize that, oh, this shit was real, you know? And then I watched the Will Packard interview where Will Packard kind of explained what happened, you know, and Will Packard basically said that they rehearsed everything, which was like a question I had before last week, and then he said that they rehearsed all the jokes that he was gonna do, and he didn't even get to his jokes, you know, so he knew that something was up. Like when he didn't get to his jokes, but he thought that Will and Chris kind of had that thing worked out where it was something that they were doing off script. But then when they went to intermission, and Will went behind stage to visit with Chris, he asked him, he's like, "Yo, did he hit you?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got hit for real," you know. And then the cops were already there, and they asked Chris like what he wanted to do, and Chris was like, or the cop said, "Look, here are your options. You can press charges and we can get him out of here, yada, yada, yada." The Oscars said they wanted to get him out of there, but really they couldn't because, well, they could have because it's their event. But from a legal standpoint, it gets into trespassing and all that shit. I'm not trying to break down the law like that. But basically, Chris basically took the high road and was like, "Nah, I'm good. Let's just get the show. Let's just keep the show going, you know? Let's not draw any more attention to this." You know what I mean? So that was a grown man move, yo. That was a true showman, true professional. Man, shout out to Chris Rock, man. I have a new fond respect for Chris Rock. I mean, I already respected Chris Rock. I think he's one of the greatest comedians of all time. But even now in this situation, with how he conducted himself, I thought that was dope. The one criticism I have of Chris Rock is the rationale he gave for why it wasn't really the rationale, but it was like the mindset. His whole thing was, I don't want to ruin the Oscars, you know? And I'm like, man, fuck the Oscars, man. You already got a name. You know, Chris Rock is a name, you know? Will Smith is a name, you know what I'm saying? So the Oscars to me haven't done shit for black people, you know what I'm saying? it's like we always argue with them, we always struggle with them, you know what I mean? Um, and then they put us up in certain roles and they make us look a certain way to the rest of the world or just in the eyes of the media, and I'm not really cool with that. But it was like I wish that I don't know. I think sometimes less is more. If he just said, I just want to keep the show moving, I just want to move along, that to me would have been dope. But he said, I don't want to ruin I don't want to ruin the Oscars. I'm like, man, fuck the Oscars, man. Like, nigga, you Chris Rock, man. Like, I value that name more than I value the name Oscars or the Academy Awards, you know? That's just me, you know? But but all in all, man, like I said, Chris Rock, man, is just his yeah, I feel like he handled that like a G, man. Like that's I mean, to be in the act and to just everything he said word for word and just how he carried it and how we thought it was a joke, man, that's true showmanship, man, true professionalism, man. So shout out to him, man. You know? And then here's the thing, man. Like I've talked to a few people about this, man, and I don't want to really go in too deep with it. I have some research I have to do, you know what I'm saying? But from what I have seen and what I know about this subject, which is very little, I'm gonna go ahead and give my 2 cents on it. You know what I'm saying? So, as we know, or as Jada has made known, she suffers from alopecia. You know what I'm saying? Which is a disease that causes hair loss with women. And I want to talk about just the topic of hair, right? Like, basically, a lot of women define their beauty through their hair. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's necessarily right, but that's just what is, you know? But what I have struggled, or what I struggle with, is the fact that it's like, there are options for women that lose their hair, right? So, for example, if a woman loses her hair, or if she suffers from alopecia, right, she can wear a wig, right? It's socially acceptable for a woman to wear a wig, and a lot of times, a lot of women wear wigs, and we don't even know that they wear wigs. But me, as y'all see, I don't have any hair, you know, but it's like I can't wear a hat all the time, you know what I'm saying? And if I wear a wig, people will laugh at me for wearing a wig, or it's not socially acceptable for me wearing a wig. I have to own whatever comes with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my head is shaped like a penis and motherfuckers call me dickhead or whatever, I gotta take it. You know what I'm saying? Or I gotta try to have a clever way to come back with that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or look at Steve Harvey, right? Steve Harvey wanted to keep his flat top, and he had his process. He had his cake fro flat top, you know what I'm saying? And people clowned him over that, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like this, right? What I don't understand about alopecia, and this is where I need to do my research, and maybe those in the chat can chime in or whatever, but I understand that you have to take steroids to, like, do you take steroids to prevent hair loss? Or do you take steroids for another health reason that happens to prevent hair loss? You know what I mean? Because, for example, if the only reason why you're taking steroids is to prevent your hair loss, then to me, I'm a little indifferent with that, because I feel like there are other options, like, for a woman, right? I'm not against it, but I'm just saying, like, there are socially acceptable options for women, right? But dudes who lose their hair, it's like a natural thing, right? So it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of feel like we're in this society where everybody wants equality, but equality is different for different people, right? And then if that's the case, then it's not really equality. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you know, what are you really, like, fighting for? You know? So I'm not sure if that came off insensitive, but like I said, that's how I think, you know? That's why this show is called Trippin' with Theobold. Because right now, y'all like, nigga, you tripping. Okay, cool. I'm tripping, but this is how I think. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't like the shape of my head, but I lost my hair, and I go into a job interview, I can't wear this hat in this job interview, right? And if I wear a wig, it's going to look unnatural, and people might clown me for like wearing a wig, or look at me and start laughing. I've been in job interviews, or I've been on a job where men have done stuff with their hair, where you can tell like they're ashamed of like hair loss. You know, they done did the long comb over, right? They got the Linus from Charlie Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like they got that long pubic hair strand. See, I'm talking about them bad. I'm not trying to be. You get the point, but I'm not making fun of them, but they got the long, skinny strands of hair that go across, and they wrap it around, and you can tell that they put process and they put work into that, you know? But people talk about them. I hear what people say. I'm not saying I'm the one that talks about them, but I hear people say things about them, and is that right? I mean, chime in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what your thoughts are on this. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, it's like, I think if it's I'm assuming this, I don't have any fact on this, but I'm assuming that Chris never saw the Red Table Talk where Jada was like breaking down about her hair. I think if he saw that, he might not even have touched that, you know? But still, like I said, I don't think it was funny, but I don't think it was that bad either, you know? I think it was a one quick hitter. It was one of those things where he got on it and moved on. Now, if he stayed on her, that would have been different. That would have been cruel, you know? And I've been to comedy shows where people stay on one person for 20 minutes, and nah, that wouldn't have been cool. So, all in all, like I said, I want peace for everybody, man. I want peace for Will. I want peace for Jada. I want, you know, I want peace for Chris after all this, man, because I think that was an embarrassing moment, but I think that he handled it like the best. Like, I think that I really don't think anyone else could have handled that better than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. Hopefully we can move past this and, you know, grow from this and learn from it, you know? But that's all I'm going to say for that. So let's go ahead and talk about my comedy bump. So now we're going to go into the comedy bump portion of the show where I talk about like my trials and tribulations in comedy, because y'all, as you guys may or may not know, I'm a comedian. I tell jokes. I do stand-up. And I've had lots of comedy bumps along the way, man. Lots of bumps. And the lesson or the bump that I'm going to talk about today is comics want any little bit of credit, you know? Like, they're like, it's like they want if there's a morsel of credit, everyone wants to get that every piece of credit in comedy, someone's going to be able to go put their name to and take that, and they collect it and put it in a little bag, you know? So I was in a situation a few years ago where I was upstairs in this green room in this comedy club, and there's this one well-respected up-and-coming comedian, very funny dude, very funny brother, and he was talking about like this one joke about Sesame Street characters or whatever, right? And there's a group of us around him, and this one female comedian was like, "Oh, that's an idea for a podcast. You should make that a podcast," you know? And at first I kind of caught on to it, but I didn't hear the whole thing. So 5 minutes go by, and he's still talking about, you know, about the show or whatever, or about his idea or the joke or the concept. And the more I hear it, I'm like, I'm agreeing with her. I'm like, yeah, you need to make that into a podcast, right? But when I said it, she was right there, and man, she jumped all in my shit. She was like, that's my idea. Like, you just want to come in here and come take my idea? Huh? It's like that? And she's like smiling and shit, but I can see she's mad. Like, she's like, you know, don't ever take my shit again. I'm just like, what, bitch? I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I know you agree with me, but don't agree with me. That's my shit. That's my idea. You trying to take my shit. Just real aggressive. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And people that look, the thing I've learned is that people who are that aggressive about shit or that confrontational, they probably not like that talented. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she's not talented. I'm just saying that she probably is not that talented, man. You know, because I've seen her do work, and like the shit that she got mad over really kind of just showed, right? So I wasn't trying to take her credit at all. I was just trying to say, look, like I finally saw what she saw, you know? And I even said, look, hey, I see what you see. That's a good idea. I don't care what you see. Stop trying to take my idea. I'm like, so all I said was, you know what? My bad. I apologized. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? So now I learned it's like, even when you give a suggestion or an idea, you have to be listening to who may have already given that idea, you know, and come and kind of like play dumb with it and be like, hey man, I'm not sure if anyone told you this idea or not, but I humbly ask if you listen to my suggestion. Like, you have to kind of play that role, you know what I mean? Because if not, you're gonna get checked by a lot of people in the industry or whatever, and it's just not worth it, you know. So I learned my lesson with that, man. So just really be cautious about, you know, the ideas you give people, and make sure that, you know, you always like kind of preface it with, hey, I'm not sure if anyone told you this or not yet, you know, and look around, make eye contact. But hey, I think you should do whoop de whoop de woo. Oh, I did that. Oh, my bad. That's you. Cool. You got the idea. Go run with it. It's on you. You know what I'm saying? So, gotta be real. You gotta be real deliberate and precise with what you say, and that shit is kind of a headache. But that's just the industry. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, what else, man? As y'all can see, before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm not sure how how Twitch works exactly, but do the YouTube equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Follow me, add me, whatever. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see at the bottom, I have all my handles, so you can check me out. I'm gonna try to do this every Thursday at 4:30, but you know, stay tuned to the time changes. I'll make sure I'll try to get a time that's consistent, that works for me, and that I can do every week on a weekly routine basis. Yeah, with all that being said, without further, why do I say without further ado? That's kind of stupid. With that being said, that's all, folks. I'm out of here. Peace.